Let me ask you something real. Are you busy or are you actually productive? Because there's a massive difference. And chances are you're confusing movement with progress. You see, most people wake up every day and immediately go into reaction mode. They check their phones, scroll through distractions, respond to messages, get pulled into noise, and by the time the day ends, they feel exhausted but empty. Like they did so much but accomplished nothing really. Sound familiar? That's not living. That's drifting. And if you don't take control of your time, I promise you, someone else will. Time is your most valuable asset. Not money, not talent, time. Because you can get money back, you can recover from failure. But once a moment is gone, you never get it back. That's why this video is not just another productivity lecture. This is your wake-up call. In the next few minutes, I'm going to hand you 6 powerful, no excuses tips that high achievers use to dominate their day, protect their peace, and create unstoppable momentum. If you're tired of feeling stuck, if you're ready to stop wasting time and start winning, this is your moment. No more excuses. No more time leaks. Let's rebuild your life one focused hour at a time. Stick with me until the end and I'll help you turn time into your greatest weapon. Let's begin. Time is your most valuable currency. But let's be honest, most people treat time like it's unlimited. They say, I'll do it tomorrow or I'll start next week. But here's the truth no one wants to admit. You don't have forever. Time is your most valuable currency. It's more valuable than money, more powerful than opportunity, and more scarce than you realize. You can make more money, you can rebuild relationships, you can recover from failure, but you will never get back lost time. Every second that passes is a piece of your life that's gone. Forever. That's why the most successful people on the planet are obsessed with time. They guard it, they schedule it, they honor it. Because they understand that every minute matters. While others waste hours on distractions, the greats are building empires in silence. One focused hour at a time. Let this sink in. Your future is shaped by how you spend your next hour. We live in a world that's always pulling us in different directions. Notifications, messages, endless scrolling, pointless conversations. And all of that is stealing your time. Obviously not all at once, but subtly, quietly. It's death by 1,000 distractions. You're not losing your potential because you're not smart enough or talented enough. You're losing it because you're wasting time. It's time to stop seeing time as something you have and start seeing it as something you use. When you shift your mindset, you shift your life. The person who values time, plans time, and protects their time wins. Period. Want to get ahead in life? Don't ask for more hours. Ask how you can use the hours you already have better. Because time doesn't care about your excuses, it only cares about your choices. And let me be clear, the difference between a high achiever and a struggler isn't intelligence, it's time management. It's what they do with their mornings. It's how they handle distractions. It's how seriously they treat their minutes. If you want to be different, you have to start acting different. And it starts with respecting time. Starting today, stop treating your time like it's cheap. Stop giving it to people who drain you. Stop letting meaningless habits eat away your days. Time is your power. Time is your edge. Time is your life. So treat it like a priceless gift. Because once it's gone, it's gone. And the most tragic thing you can do in this life is not run out of time. It's to waste it on things that don't matter. This is your wake-up call. From now on, you don't just exist, you manage. You don't just float through your day, you own it. Time isn't your enemy, it's your tool. Use it wisely and watch your life transform. Tip 1. Plan your day the night before. If you wake up every morning and immediately start reacting to the world, checking your phone, rushing around, wondering what to do first, then you're already behind. Success isn't created in the morning, it's created the night before. Let that sink in. The people who dominate their mornings are the ones who prepare for them in advance. They don't start their day in chaos, they start in clarity. That clarity doesn't come by accident, it comes from planning. Here's the simple truth. If you don't plan your day will plan you. and it will fill itself with distractions, interruptions, and things that pull you away from your goals. That's why planning your day the night before is such a powerful time management tool. It shifts you from living reactively to living intentionally. Every night before you go to bed, take 10-15 minutes to do the following. List your top 3 priorities for the next day. What must get done to move you forward? Schedule blocks of time for each of those tasks. Make appointments with your goals. Prepare mentally for what challenges might come and how you respond. Visualize success. Imagine yourself following through on your commitments. This practice isn't about control, it's about clarity. It gives your mind a map before the day even begins, and with a map, you waste less time wandering. You see, willpower is limited. Every decision you make in the morning, what to do, when to do it, what to prioritize, drains that energy. But when you've already made those decisions the night before, you conserve that mental power and can use it where it matters most. Planning ahead also trains your brain to operate with purpose. You stop chasing the urgent and start focusing on the important. And here's a bonus. It reduces stress. Because nothing creates anxiety like a scattered day with no structure. But when you wake up with direction, you start your day with confidence, not confusion. Think about it. If your goals really matter to you, why leave them to chance? Why hope your day goes well when you can design it to go well? Planning your day the night before is a small habit that produces massive results. It's the difference between wasting time and investing it, between drifting and dominating, before about anything, between average and unstoppable. So tonight, before you scroll, before you crash on the couch, before you sleep, plan. Plan your success. Plan your priorities. Plan your progress. Because when you wake up with a plan, you don't just chase the day, you conquer it. Tip 2, eliminate time wasters. Let's be brutally honest. You are not overwhelmed because you have too much to do. You're overwhelmed because too much of your time is being stolen by things that don't matter. Time wasters are the silent killers of dreams. They sneak in disguise as breaks, entertainment or rest, but in reality, they're distractions in disguise. And the scariest part, you often don't even notice them until you've lost hours. Let's talk about the obvious ones first. Endless social media scrolling, pointless YouTube rabbit holes, TV binges that turn into entire nights. It's so easy to get sucked into the trap. 1 minute of scrolling turns into 20. One video becomes 5. And suddenly an hour is gone and you've gained nothing from it. But it's not just the digital stuff. Time wasters also show up in your real life as people and habits. Saying yes to things that don't align with your goals. Getting caught up in gossip or drama. Multitasking instead of deep focusing. Procrastinating with busy work instead of doing the thing that actually matters. These are not harmless distractions. These are the enemies of your future. And so here's the challenge. You need to become ruthless with your time. You need to develop what I call time discipline. Start by doing a time audit. For 1 week, track where your time actually goes. You'll be shocked to discover how much of it is being drained by habits that add zero value to your life. Once you identify the leaks, plug them. Delete apps if they tempt you. Use website blockers to avoid distractions. Set timers for breaks so they don't stretch forever. Schedule your day so there's no room left for wasting it. Protect your time like it's your life, because it is. If someone tried to rob you of your money, you'd fight back. So why stay silent while distractions rob you of your hours? Here's the golden rule. If it doesn't feed your goals, your growth, or your peace, it's a time waster. Let it go. You don't need to be busy all the time. You need to be focused. And every time you cut a time waste out of your life, you give yourself a gift. More time to build, more energy to grow, more clarity to move forward. The world is full of noise. It will always try to pull your attention away from what matters. But greatness belongs to those who are disciplined enough to say, no, my time is not for sale. Because when you eliminate what wastes your time, you unlock the power to use it with purpose. And purpose is where success begins. Tip 3. Use the 80/20 rule. It is one of the most powerful principles in time management and in life. The 80/20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle, it states that 80% of your results come from just 20% of your actions. That means not everything you do is equally important. Not every task deserves your attention. Not every effort leads to equal outcomes. You might be spending your entire day working, but if you're working on the wrong things, you'll always feel stuck, tired, and frustrated. Think about it. Out of your 10 daily tasks, only 2 are likely creating the majority of your progress. The rest, they're keeping you busy, but not making you better. Busyness is a trap. It feels productive, but it's really just motion without progress. And time is too precious to waste on motion that leads nowhere. So how do you apply the 80/20 rule to your life? Start by asking this question: what are the few things I do that produce the biggest results? Is it making strategic decisions in your business, writing impactful content, studying one key subject instead of many? Because whatever those few high-impact activities are, those are your 20%. Those are what deserve your time, energy, and focus. Once you identify them, double down. Schedule them during your peak energy hours. Protect those blocks of time fiercely. Eliminate or delegate the rest. Here's where most people go wrong. They treat all tasks as equal. They check off to-do lists just to feel productive. They give the same priority to answering emails as they do to working on their long-term goals. But champions don't chase every task, they chase the right ones. They go deep, not wide. They focus on quality, not quantity. That's how they grow faster, succeed quicker, and rise above the noise. You don't have to work 12-hour days to get ahead. You just need to identify what truly matters and make those few things your obsession. Here's the truth that might hurt. You're not overwhelmed because you have too much to do. You're overwhelmed because you haven't separated the vital few from the trivial many. You're trying to do it all, but success comes from doing less better. Start cutting, start simplifying, start focusing on what really moves the needle. Because when you master the 80/20 rule, you take control of your life. You stop wasting time on what's urgent and start spending it on what's important. And that's the mindset that separates the average from the exceptional. Tip 4. Time block your priorities. Let me introduce you to a game changer, time blocking. If you've ever ended your day feeling like you were busy but got nothing meaningful done, time blocking will change everything. Time blocking is the art of scheduling your priorities instead of prioritizing your schedule. It's about giving each important task a specific place on your calendar so it doesn't get lost in the chaos of your day. Think of your day like a container. If you fill it with random things, emails, calls, social media, errands, there's no room left for what really matters. But if you put in the big rocks first, your most important tasks, everything else adjusts around them. It's time blocking. It forces you to be intentional, to take control, to stop being reactive and start being proactive. Here's how to do it. List your top 2-3 priorities for the day. These should align with your long-term goals. Assign specific time slots for each task. Don't just say, I'll do it sometime. Say, from 9 to 11 a.m. I'm writing, or from 3 to 4 p.m. I'm planning. Stick to those blocks like appointments. Treat them as non-negotiable. That means no calls, no messages, no interruptions. Why is this powerful? Because when you assign time to your goals, they become real. They move from your wish list to your calendar. They go from being dreams to being commitments. Time blocking also gives you clarity. You no longer have to wonder, what should I do next? You already know. You're no longer ruled by the clock, you master it. And here's the magic. When you block time for what matters, you get more done in less time. You enter a flow state. You stop multitasking. You stop reacting. You focus. Think about it. Most people let their day happen to them. They wait for free time to work on their goals. But that free time never comes because it gets eaten by distractions. Winners don't wait for free time, they make time. Time blocking gives you the discipline to do what matters, even when you don't feel like it. Because success doesn't come from doing what's easy, it comes from doing what's essential. So if something is important to you, your health, your business, your personal growth, it deserves a place on your calendar. And when you start honoring your time blocks, you notice something powerful. Your productivity will rise, your stress will fall, and your life will feel in control. Remember, if it's not scheduled, it's not real. If it's not blocked, it won't get done. Time blocking isn't just about managing time. It's about mastering your life. Tip 5. Learn to say no without guilt. Here's a truth that might sting a little. If you can't say no, you'll never fully respect your yes. Time management isn't just about planners, productivity tools, or waking up at 5 a.m. It's about boundaries. And one of the most powerful boundaries you can set is the word no. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you're saying no to something that actually matters. And the sad part, most people don't even realize it, until their calendar is full, their energy is drained, and their goals are left behind. You have to understand this. Your time is limited. You can't be everything to everyone. You can't attend every event, answer every call, say yes to every favor, and still expect to stay on track with your vision. Learning to say no isn't selfish, it's self-respect. It's realizing that your energy, your focus, and your time are finite resources. And if you don't protect them, they will be spent by other people's agendas. So how do you start saying no without guilt? First, get clear on your priorities. When you know what matters most to you, it becomes easier to identify what doesn't. Second, realize that saying no doesn't make you rude, it makes you responsible. You don't owe everyone access to your time. And you don't have to explain yourself. Every time you decline, a simple "I'm focused on something important right now" is enough. Third, practice. Like a muscle, saying no gets easier the more you do it. At first it'll feel uncomfortable. You might worry about disappointing people, but guess what? Disappointing others is better than betraying yourself. And here's something powerful to remember. The people who truly value you won't be offended when you protect your time. They're the ones who get upset. They were only using you to begin with. When you say no to distractions, you say yes to direction. When you say no to people-pleasing, you say yes to peace. When you say no to obligations that don't align with your purpose, you say yes to greatness. You can't build your dreams on a foundation of guilt, obligation, and burnout. You need space, you need focus, you need to honor your own path. So starting today, start saying no more often. Say no to things that waste your time. Say no to people who don't respect your boundaries. Say no to every distraction that steals your energy. Because your time is the most valuable currency you have. Don't spend it on things that don't give you a return. Learn to say no. Protect your purpose. Guard your growth. And watch your life transform. Tip 6. Reflect and adjust regularly. Time management isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily commitment. And the people who master their time don't just plan once and forget it. They constantly reflect, review, and refine. That's where this final tip comes in. Reflect and adjust regularly. Here's the truth. What worked for you last month might not work this month. Your goals change. Your energy shifts. Life throws new challenges at you. And if you don't pause to evaluate your time and your habits, you'll keep running in circles. Most people don't struggle because they're lazy. They struggle because they're unaware. They don't know where their time is going. They don't know what's draining them. They don't know what needs to change because they never stop long enough to reflect. So here's what I recommend. At the end of each week, carve out 20 to 30 minutes for a time audit and reflection session. Ask yourself, what did I spend most of my time on? Did my actions reflect my priorities? What's distracted me the most? What gave me the biggest return on my time? What should I do differently next week? Be honest, be detailed, don't sugarcoat it. This is your chance to realign with your goals, to catch your blind spots, to course correct before things go off track. And don't just reflect, adjust. If a strategy isn't working, pivot. If a routine drains you, redesign it. If a task feels heavy every week, either automate it, delegate it, or eliminate it altogether. Remember, productivity isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters most, consistently. You are not a robot. You're a human being with shifting energy, changing goals, and evolving priorities. So give yourself permission to improve your system as you grow. And don't forget the power of celebration. When you reflect, don't just look for what went wrong. Acknowledge what went right. Give yourself credit for the progress. Celebrate the wins, even the small ones. Because motivation comes from momentum, and momentum comes from recognizing your growth. Reflection builds awareness. Adjustment builds mastery. When you combine both, you become unstoppable. Time management is not just about squeezing more hours out of the day. It's about aligning your time with the life you want to live. So pause, reflect, adjust. Do this every week and you become the kind of person who doesn't just plan, you execute, you improve, and you win. Not by chance, but by design. The final push turned time into your superpower. Let's bring it all together. You've heard the tips. You've felt the urgency. You know that time is not just ticking, it's running. Now, here's the truth that will separate you from the average. Time is either your greatest asset or your biggest liability. It all depends on how you use it. The time is fair, it doesn't discriminate. Every person on this planet, rich or poor, old or young, gets 24 hours in a day. What makes the difference isn't how much time you have, it's what you do with it. Success isn't about luck. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about taking what you have right now and using it with intention, focus, and purpose. Because here's the hard truth. You will never find time. You have to make it. You have to claim it, protect it, fight for it, like your life depends on it. Because it does. Every wasted hour is a missed opportunity. Every ignored minute is a chance you won't get back. But when you respect time, when you treat it like the precious currency it is, you unlock something powerful. Clarity, confidence, momentum, freedom. Time becomes your ally instead of your enemy. Stop reacting and start creating. You stop rushing and start living. You stop merely surviving each day and begin building something that lasts. Think about this. If you gave just one focused hour a day to your biggest goal, your business, your health, your dream, you'd have over 360 focused hours a year. Do you realize what kind of transformation that could bring? The problem isn't that you don't have enough time. The problem is you haven't been managing it with intention. But that changed today. You now have the tools. Eliminate distractions. Prioritize what matters. Use the 80/20 rule. Time block your day. Say no without guilt. Reflect and refine. And these aren't just tips. They're a mindset. They're how the world's most successful people win their days so they can win their lives. It's not too late. You haven't missed your chance. But you must act now. Don't wait for motivation. Create discipline. Don't wait for permission. Own your calendar. Don't wait for more time. Respect the time you already have. Because how you spend your time is how you spend your life. So take back control. Take responsibility. Take the first step. Your time is now. Now that you've made it to the end of this video, I want you to pause right now and ask yourself one honest question. What will you do with the time you have left? Not next year. Not next month. Not even tomorrow. Today, this moment, this hour. Because the uncomfortable truth is this. Time is slipping through your fingers. Because every second you hesitate, someone out there is using that same second to move closer to their goals, to build their dream, to shape a life they love. You've just learned 6 life-changing principles. Eliminate distractions. Prioritize what actually matters. I use the 80/20 rule to focus on results. Time block, like your future depends on it. Say no to anything that wastes your energy. Reflect weekly, adjust ruthlessly. These aren't just tips, they are tools. Tools to help you design your day with intention. So you don't just exist, you excel. But here's the thing, knowing is not enough. Planning is not enough. Only action will change your life. So don't let this video be just another source of motivation that fades after a few hours. Let it be the beginning of a new mindset, a new strategy, a new standard for how you live. You are capable of more. Not because you need more time, but because you're about to use the time you have like it truly matters. Imagine what your life could look like 30 days from now if you took control of your schedule instead of letting your schedule control you. Imagine the momentum, the peace, the pride. It's yours if you're willing to commit. Remember this, you don't find time, you make it. You don't manage time, you master it. You don't wait for motivation, you create discipline. The clock is ticking, the world is moving, and your future is waiting. So I challenge you, right here, right now, to take one of these tips and apply it today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Close this video and do something that brings you closer to your goals. Because the ones who change their lives aren't the ones who know what to do. They're the ones who do it consistently, with focus and without apology. The time is now. The power is yours. Don't waste it.